Have you ever opened your banking app at the end of the month and just stared at the number like, wait a second, I worked all month, I didn't buy anything crazy, so how is there almost nothing left? Look, this happens to a lot of people, and most people assume the problem is income. If I just made more money, everything would be fine. But here's the thing, a lot of people who make $100,000 a year are still broke, and some people making $50,000 quietly build wealth. So the real difference often isn't income, it's what people buy. Because there are certain things poor people buy all the time that wealthy people almost completely avoid. And once you see these patterns, you can't unsee them. My name is Niko, and I spend way too much time thinking about how people make, spend, and grow their money. If you're someone who works hard but still struggles to build wealth, make sure to hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up if this helps you out. Because today we're talking about 10 things poor people buy that rich people avoid, and some of these might surprise you. 1. Brand new cars. Look, a new car feels amazing, but here's what most people don't realize. According to Edmunds, a new car loses about 20% of its value in the first year. So imagine buying a $40,000 car. 1 year later, it might only be worth $32,000. That's $8,000 gone. Wealthy people usually buy used cars first and invest the difference. Americans spend about $100 billion per year on lottery tickets, and the crazy part? Lower-income households spend the largest percentage of their income on them. Now imagine someone spends $20 per week on lottery tickets. That's about $1,000 per year. Invested at 8% for 30 years, that becomes about $113,000. The lottery sells hope. Investing builds wealth. Here's what most people don't realize. Many luxury brands rely heavily on middle-class customers, not the ultra-rich, because expensive clothing often signals status. But wealthy people usually care more about assets than appearances. They don't need to prove they're rich. Now this is where it gets really interesting. The average credit card interest rate is now around 20%. So if someone carries a $5,000 balance, they might pay $1,000 a year in interest. That's like setting money on fire. Wealthy people avoid high-interest consumer debt whenever possible. New phone every year, new laptop, new gadgets. Companies design products to make you feel like you need the newest version. But upgrading a $1,000 phone every year for 20 years costs $20,000. Invested instead? That could become over $90,000. You get a raise, you upgrade your lifestyle, bigger apartment, better car, more spending, and suddenly, you're still broke. Here's what most people don't realize. Wealth grows when your savings grow faster than your lifestyle. Food delivery, ride shares, premium services. Individually, they feel small, but Americans now spend over $150 billion a year on food delivery alone. Convenience is great, but if you buy it before building wealth, it slows everything down. Retailers love extended warranties. Why? Because they're incredibly profitable. Many warranties are rarely used, which means statistically the customer loses money. Wealthy people often rely on emergency funds instead. Crypto scams, trading signals, secret investing strategies. Look, real wealth is usually boring. The S&P 500 has averaged around 10% per year over long periods. Not overnight riches, but powerful growth over decades. This one is huge. Some purchases look like assets but are actually liabilities. Luxury cars, huge houses you can barely afford, expensive hobbies financed with debt. If something takes money out of your pocket every month, it's not really building wealth. If you want to build wealth, start with 3 simple habits. Delay big purchases, invest before upgrading your lifestyle. Focus on assets that generate income, stocks, businesses, real estate, things that work for you, not against you. Look, wealth rarely comes from one big decision. It usually comes from thousands of small ones. What you buy, what you avoid, what you invest. Those choices quietly shape your future. So if you want to change your financial life, start by changing your buying habits. And if you want to keep learning how money really works, make sure to subscribe to the channel, because the more you understand money, the more control you have over your future.